These turned out to be absolutely beautiful, so let me show you how I made them. This is real-time footage, so I'm going to take the 30 to 35 seconds that it takes to make this burn and talk a little bit about what is happening here. This is called a Lichtenberg figure, or a fractal burn. It's made when you pass extremely high voltage through a semiconductive surface. Now the beech wood I'm using underneath is not conductive enough to create this reaction, so I have to spray a little bit of electrolyte solution on top. I have to stop the reaction before the carbon paths meet because that would create a direct short and this thing becomes a Jacob's ladder. After I let these dry for a couple hours, I'm able to use a nail cleaning brush to knock out the excess carbon that's hiding away in the deep grooves of the fractal burn. With the carbon cleared out, now I've got an area where I can apply this gold fleck paint. There's a lot of different brands of gold paint out there, everything from a lackluster dull yellow to this highly reflective metallic paint that I'm using here. While it's not affiliated with the channel, I am very pleased with its properties. I originally intended to apply this with finesse and use as little paint as possible. However, as I start smearing across the board, I find that I am painting the entire coaster, not just the grooves that I was intending. It doesn't matter though, because it still takes very little paint to smear across the surface. The only issue I had here is that the Joker card started to absorb too much paint and get a little flimsy around the edges, so I swapped it out off camera for an expired license. The driver's license was absolutely perfect. It allowed me to squeeze as much gold into the grooves as possible and then carry over the excess over to the next coaster. I ended up only using about half that little bottle, and I made 18 of these in one sitting. Instead of making you sit through 17 more applications in real time, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a lot of the material. You see what's going on here. I smear the paint into the grooves, and then we can move on to letting it dry. The next day, the gold paint is completely dry and ready to be sanded off. The idea is that if I use a flat sander here, that I'll be able to knock off just that top layer and hopefully reveal just gold veins beneath. As you can probably see from the thumbnail or from the very beginning of this video, it was very successful, but here's the reveal in real time. Unfortunately, there's no way to film this in a way that you can see exactly what's happening. The sander covers up everything, but I was able to use these little stop blocks to keep the piece in place while I work on the top. The other sides had to be done in hand. Since this is just a test run, I'm only going to do this pattern on one side of the board. We're going to sand the edges and the underside and then press on to knocking out the other 17. I considered just time-lapsing the entire process, but I find it's more satisfying to watch the video in real time, see the process, the thought process, the hesitations that go into actually creating this artwork. That being said, I try to only show the interesting pieces here and keep these videos as short as possible. If I'm able to keep them under 8 minutes, it should prevent you guys from seeing those mid-roll ads that interrupt videos all across YouTube. We're already halfway through the video at this point, so if you enjoyed the content, hit subscribe. If you want other people to see this, comment or like below. The subscription is allowing you to see more of my videos, and the liking and commenting tells YouTube that it was engaging and it pushes out for more people to see. This is a quick comparison between a chamfered coaster on the left and an unchamfered on the right. I'm making the decision here that I'm going to go ahead and run these all through the table saw, chamfer the edges, and finish up with some hand sanding. I like to go over each one of these and feel for any inconsistencies and do this all by hand. There are a lot of tools that could help out with this process and speed it up, but for me it's nice to handle each and every one of these, go over the edges, make sure there's no sharp spots, no splinters, no tool marks, and create a overall better quality product. And here's the reveal with a microfiber cloth wiping out the sawdust that has accumulated over the gold. And you can see it really pops once you knock off that sawdust. So I'm going to go over each one of these. I did time lapse this one because it's exciting to see them all reveal, and I didn't want to sit here for 10 minutes and watch every single one of them get buffed and polished. So we'll speed it up and take a look at the reveal of each one of these. This quick time lapse is going to also give me some time to talk about where you can find these and how you can get your hands on a set of your own. In the past, this channel has revolved around setting up my shop and my house here in Germany and setting up the house and the shop in Michigan for our inevitable move back and beginning of homesteading life. However, this video is unique. Instead of hoarding these for myself, which I desperately want to do now that I see how they turned out, I'm actually going to be putting them up for sale on our website, followthecompassnorth.com. It's spelled normally, there's no hyphens, no abbreviations, just www.followthecompassnorth.com. There'll be a link in the description. Now today we did all of these in gold, but we will be doing a silver and bronze inlaid fractal burn coaster as well. There'll be pictures of those as we make them in the shop, so you can actually select which one that you want. There'll be a drop-down option there when you go to checkout. Going back to real time for the last one, we'll do that final reveal of coaster number 18. Now I'm already in love with these, but we do need to seal them, so I'm going to be using polyurethane in this case. Typically, if you watch my channel, you know that I like to use wax, but wax needs to be reapplied every couple of months, and if I'm going to be selling these, I don't want to have the owners have to re-wax them over and over just to maintain that feel that I enjoy. So they will be sealed completely here with polyurethane, and then we'll take some high quality photos here and show you the reveal in a couple of seconds. Every couple of months I make something that I fall in love with, and this is one of those items. So I took some high quality photos here to show the detail a little better. I love the way the gold looks like it was poured molten into the wood, even though it's a gold fleck paint into a Lichtenberg fractal figure. If you'd like to see a variation on this technique or built into another item, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, eat food, drink water, keep warm, and stay healthy.